Did you know that faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the Word of Yah? My goal is to bless you with the Word. Listen to it while you're driving. Listen to it while you're walking along the way. Listen to it when you lay down at night. Listen to the Word. Jeremiah chapter 33, verses 25 and 26, followed by Jeremiah chapter 34, verses 8 through 22. Here is what Yahweh says: If I have not established my covenant with day and night and fixed the laws for sky and earth, then I will also reject the descendants of Jacob and of my servant David, not choosing from his descendants people to rule over the descendants of Abraham, Yishak, and Yaakov. For I will cause their captives to come back, and I will show them compassion. This word came to Jeremiah from Yahweh after King Tzedekah had made a covenant with all the people in Jerusalem to emancipate them. Everyone who had a male or female slave who was a Hebrew was to let him go free. None was to keep as his slave a fellow Jew. All the leaders and all the people listened who had entered into the covenant, wherein everyone was to free his male and female slaves and not keep them in bondage any longer. They listened and they let them go. But afterwards, they changed their minds. They made the male and female slaves whom they had freed return, and they brought them back into subjection as slaves. Therefore, this word of Yahweh came to Jeremiah from Yahweh. Here is what Yahweh, the power of Israel, says: When I brought your ancestors out of the land of Egypt, where they lived as slaves, I made this covenant with them. At the end of 7 years, every one of you is to set free his brother Hebrew, who has been sold to you and has served you 6 years. You are to let him go free from you. But your ancestors did not listen to me or pay any attention. Now you repented. You did what is right from my viewpoint when each of you proclaimed freedom to his fellow. And you made a covenant before me in the house bearing my name. But then you changed your minds. You profaned my name when each of you took back his male and female slaves, whom you had set free to live as they wished, and brought them back into subjection as your slaves. Therefore, here is what Yahweh says: You did not heed me and proclaim freedom, each to his brother and each to his neighbor. So now I proclaim for you a freedom, says Yahweh, for sword, plague, and famine. I will make you an object of horror to all the kingdoms on earth. As for the men who violated my covenant by not living up to the conditions of the covenant which they made in my presence when they cut the calf in two and passed between its parts, the leaders of Yahweh, the leaders of Jerusalem, the officials, the Kohanim, and all the people of the land who passed between the parts of the calf, I will hand them over to their enemies, hand them over to those who seek their lives, and their corpses will become food for birds in the air and wild animals. To Zedekiah, king of Yahawashi, and his officials, I will hand over to their enemies, to those who seek their lives, and to the army of the king of Babel, which is withdrawn. I will give the order, says Yahweh, and cause them to return to the city. They will attack it, capture it, and burn it to the ground. And I will make the cities of Yahawashi desolate and uninhabited.